Shalom, shalom. Just give me a second while I get this out. All right, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. All right, peace and much love, honors and blessings, salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, they continue to hold their kind of composure and integrity. All right, to Brother Yaakov, as you see in the title, Jacob and Esau, dash the predestination, or for the elect, the predestination and foreordainment. And basically this comes through, a tiny little conversation, man, I had with an individual on a post that I had put up a few days ago, man. I can't remember the man, the Edomite's name, David Lynchman or something, but this guy who had been, he got caught from a murder that he committed like 50 years ago on a little girl, that he ended up kidnapping. And, I posted it, as a post on my YouTube channel. And, I had a certain individual that made a comment and said that, this is why it's good to, the righteous be righteous, because once you stop being wicked, you'll get your blessing back. And, if you don't, you lose it. And, it was just a civilized little conversation. So this is not a rebuke video. This is more just to clarify it. As always, we always got to keep teaching. But when it comes to certain things, when it pertains to Jacob and Esau, which you got Esau Edom, which is a so-called white man, you got him ruling today on the earth, all right, which he was blessed. Okay, when you go back into, let's actually go ahead and get it, just for edification's sake. But when you go back into Genesis, all right, Genesis chapter 26. No, hold on. Salaka, Genesis 25. My bad. Wait, no. Salaka. Genesis 27 and 34. It says, and when Esau, well, first of all, let me just speak a little bit again real quick. This lesson is to clarify that with Esau and Jacob, they were both blessed. All right, but one blessing was meant to only run for a certain amount of time, while the other one was always set up to be the last blessing, basically, of a nation to basically take this world and rule it forever. All right, Esau was given the blessing to rule the earth by the sword. All right, but Jacob was going to be the beginning of it that followeth to rule for eternity. And with these blessings, neither one of them ever were dropped. And that's what this is about: predestination, teaching about predestination, foreordainment, okay, pre-election, purpose. Because when you go into the scriptures, it does talk about predestination. It does talk about being foreordained. It does talk about purpose, and all these things coincide with each other to basically go that regardless of whatever occurs on the earth, whatever occurs in history, the past, the present, the future, according to the purpose of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, certain things are going to still play out regardless. Like with Israel is going to get the earth. Israel is going to be chosen in the very end, even though it looked like we weren't going to be on the top, the way that the scripture said. But pre-election stands, all right? Something that is said beforehand to stand in the future forever. That is in regards to the blessings, the inheritance that through the sons of power, the elect, are going to inherit. And through them, the rest of the nation of Israel is going to come back in the kingdom, all right? But this is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 34. It said, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me even also, O my father, because at this point in time, Jacob had already got the blessing, all right? Jacob had already gotten, which when you read in the scriptures, it looks like Jacob did get the inheritance blessing of the firstborn son, because you have a custom that the firstborn is who the father gives, passes everything down to. He passes the wealth, the strength, the power. All right, everything is passed to the first son. That is a custom. All right, and it's really according to the law. All right, when you give a sacrifice, you give the first fruits of all things, the firstling of your flock. All right, and so Esau is crying because he finds out that Jacob had already gotten the blessing and that he supplanted his father. And so that's why Esau starts crying. And really, he's crying like a little bitch. I'm going to just say that right now, because it said that he cried with an exceedingly bitter cry. And I like to make this, just to throw it out here, a fun fact. This is the first time that the word bitter was ever used. It was used with Esau, okay? Which America today represents bitter. But his whole attitude is bitter up to this very day, because he believes that Jacob stole his blessing, even though he gave it to him. All right? It said, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me even also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And Isaac didn't know about the agreement that Esau and Jacob made. Was that wicked? No. Because it didn't matter if the brothers exchanged the blessing. It was a custom, and it was really a law that the firstborn get the blessing. That's why, Isaac said that thy brother Jacob had supplanted thee, or have subtlety taken away that blessing. Now, did Isaac do anything to take it away? No. We also do know that Isaac was Yahushai, okay? Because, let me just go ahead and get with it. It says, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? Because what does Jacob mean? That's why Isaac said that. He's like, ain't he Jacob though? Because Jacob, it says, for he has supplanted me. That's what Jacob means. That's what Jacob means, to supplant. Really, to be a it's a right hand side subtlety. Okay, it's right hand side subtlety. You got left hand side subtlety, and you got right hand side. Esau was the left hand side. That's why he was cunning, because he was skillfully deceptive. All right, but you got a right hand side, which is called supplantation, which means to be in fact, let's go ahead and get the definition. All right, we got to look these words up. Okay, let me go ahead and get it real quick. Salaki, I gotta get a new window. I don't know how to move this damn window, man, with my face on it, man, and I can never actually type a new window on the internet browser. Define supplant. All right, check it out. The word supplant, it means to supersede and replace. Now, with to supersede something means you take over, and essentially that's what Jacob did. Okay, Jacob took the blessing over, because remember, man, there was an agreement made between Esau and Jacob, and even Esau said himself, what shall this blessing profit me in these days, seeing my father, he ain't even dead yet. Esau's attitude was like, man, this blessing ain't gonna do me shit. Fucking, Isaac ain't even died yet, man. My father ain't even dead. Have it, fine, fuck it. I'm hungry. Give me that food, man. So, Salakia, man. So Genesis 27:36 says, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? He took away my birthright. And behold, now he have taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now? Shoot, Slacker, man, give me a second. It says, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou not but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. This is the blessing of Esau, okay? The blessing of Esau was that he would get the fatness of the earth, which is basically he was going to rule the entire earth, right? And of the dew of heaven from above. But it said that by ruling this, by the way you were going to rule this earth was by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. All right, so that was the blessing of Esau. Esau was promised a blessing. He did get this earth, man. He did take the earth by the sword, exactly the way it said it that he would. By violence, all right, by corruption, by deception, because those are forms of the sword as well. All right, the sword is what? Used to what? To kill. All right, well, lies kill. And he lied to the world to secure his blessing. All right. Now with Jacob, though, when you go back to Jacob, shoot, man. When you go back to Jacob, when you go into Genesis 27, and I'm gonna just get to the point. It said, let's see, hold on. Genesis 27 and verse 28. Therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. This is the blessing of Jacob, okay? This is the blessing that Esau believes he lost, okay? To this very day, the bones that are full of the sin of his youth go back to the fact that Esau is mad because he believes he lost this blessing. He believes that he lost the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine, the abundance, all right? The ability for the nations to serve and bow down to him, all right? That basically any curse against him was going to fire back, and basically he was going to hold the dominion of the earth forever. That was our blessing, because there's a similar account between the two sons of Joseph. When Joseph came to Jacob to get his two sons Ephraim and Manasseh blessed, Jacob kept putting on his hand on Ephraim, and he put his right hand on Ephraim, and he put his left hand on Manasseh. And Joseph kept trying to move. Jacob's hand to Manasseh, and he kept saying, no, Father, this is the one. Manasseh was firstborn, but Jacob kept putting his right hand over Ephraim, and Ephraim got the blessing. All right, that's why when you go into the breakdown of Ephraim, it said that he shall be. Hold on, let me get it. You go into the blessing of Ephraim. Hold on. It said, Ephraim, where are you at? Hold on. Genesis 49 and 22, it says, Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well whose branches run over the wall. That's abundance. But that, you break it down, that's talking about Ephraim. Because you go into Numbers. All right, hold on. Bear with me. You go into Numbers chapter 1. One and 32. It says, of the children of Joseph, namely of the children of Ephraim. That's how you know that's talking about Ephraim right there. Ephraim got the blessing. All right. Ephraim is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by what? That's why you go over there to Puerto Rico today. It's beautiful, man. All right, and it's abundant, even the ground. We already know about this, man. Let's see. But yeah, but with that, it's the same type of scenario played out. Joseph kept trying to push the right hand of his father to Ephraim because it was custom that the firstborn of the man of a man who had sons, if they had more than one son, the inheritance blessing would pass down to the firstborn. That's why he kept trying to put his right hand, Jacob's right hand on Manasseh, Salakia, man. But it was according to predestination. It was always meant for these blessings to occur the way that they did. So, like I said, this individual, I think his name was Chris Henderson. He made the comment. In fact, I can go ahead and get it. He made this comment. Hold on. I got so much right here. Let's see. We had a little conversation. And again, it's not a rebuke. It's just I'm making this video for my own edification. In particular, I like to talk about the predestination of Esau because when you look up, which I have it right here. This is what I want to show y'all, man. This book, I made sure that I found the exact book. This big motherfucker right here, all right? Called Who's Who in the Bible. Let me see. It was by a particular, it had this cover. That's what I was looking for. All right? But this book right here, when you go into Esau, all right? Look at that. Flipped almost to it. When you go into Esau, hold on. Too far back. Salakia. Okay. This is the depiction of Esau. All right. And it actually shows crackers right there. All right. But you go into the book again called Who's Who in the Bible, right here. Damn. But when you go right down to the end part of Esau, at the very end of the description about him, because you got this whole page right here, starting with Esau, but this last, part right here, it tells you. It said at the very bottom, years later when Jacob became rich and returned home with his wife, children, and flocks, he feared Esau's revenge and sent gifts to a surgeon, but Esau had no need of Jacob's wealth and he forgave him. But we know that Esau really never did forgive Jacob, all right? We already know that, okay? Esau's descendants listed in Genesis 36 were the Edomites, there you go, who lived just south of Canaan. The prophets used Esau's name to symbolize Edom. It even tells you that Esau is Edom. That's in Genesis, I can't remember what chapter. It says Obadiah 6, Salakia. The prophets use Esau's name to symbolize Edom, how Esau has been pillaged. Obadiah exclaims, there shall be no survivor in the house of Esau. But this never happened. Then, you got these guys, Vocab, these other, whoever else, man, they like to try to say that the Edomites, were done away with, So basically they're saying that the white man was done away with. We know he's a so-called white man, all right? It says, Obadiah 6 and 18, Malachi describes how Esau's heritage has been left to jackals of the desert. Esau's name appears in the New Testament too. But here's the point. Paul cites Esau in Romans 9 as an example of those not elected by God. And the anonymous author of Hebrews enjoins his readers not to be immoral or immoral or irreligious like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. So when you look into the books, man, all right, and you look at the scriptures, mainly the scriptures clearly, plainly show you that Esau was never meant to rule forever, man. When you go into the Apocrypha, it said in 2nd Esdras, let me go in and get that. All right, 2nd Esdras, hold on. 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 8, it said, and you know what, verse 7, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. Jacob was always meant to rule last, but that last rulership was going to be forever. All right. When you look at the scriptures about the image that was crushed, it said the rock that was formed without hands, and then it said that the kingdom was going to be taken by the saints. The saints come out of Israel, and they only come out of Israel. Okay. But it was all through pre-election. Now, when you look at the word pre-election, all right, you look at the word pre-election or predestination, Salakia, the word predestination is the divine foreordaining of all that will happen. All right, especially with regard, especially with regard to the salvation of some and not others. It says it has been particular. Oh, no, Salakia, that's it on that. But that's what the word predestination means. All right. The divine foreordaining of all that will happen, especially with regard to the salvation of some and not others. Now, when you go into the word foreordain, it means to appoint or decree something beforehand, to be predetermined. All right. It says of God or fate, and that goes into a purpose. All right. Which I'm going to get the word purpose. The word purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or which something exists. Now, when you go into Isaiah, the 14th chapter, it said in Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. That's talking about all of Israel. The strangers, the Gentiles didn't mind Israelites. All right, because we were all strangers, which the word stranger actually goes into an Israelite foreigner. Okay, so but it said that the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, meaning after everything that is done or created, or for whatever reason that everything exists, certain things are going to still stand by the end. All right. And that actually goes into Romans. When you go into Romans, the 9th chapter, I'm going to start at Romans 9:6. It says, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect. Okay. For they are not all Israel, which are Israel. The point I was looking at was not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, because that's the point. The word is taking effect, because despite everything that is going on in the world, you're still having revealed who is really the wicked and not chosen, and who is, because you got certain of our people, man, that you have these other nations around the world, man, that are known that they're the Israelites, though they're called something else. You know that the western part of Africa has a lot of Israelites. It's not Hamites. Okay, you're certain of Jake in Japan, and in China, even Russia, London, Australia, Bahamas, Bermuda, everywhere around the world. But they look like the other nations, but in this time, like especially now, like we're bringing this truth out, you can go on the internet and you can find out that they're Israelites, they're Jakes. Despite the hell and the condition that we were put into under the so-called white man, through all the bugged outness, through slavery, and how our people are totally destroyed, there's still reserved parts in people that play out from Jake that lets the world know that we're still Jacob, and that's beautiful, because the election still stands. The purpose of the Lord still stands. Yeah, we're destroyed. Yeah, we're bugged out, but there's still a part of us that is alive, proving that we're still the children of Israel. And that proves the purpose of the election, that really the word of the Lord had all effect. Because to say that the word has no effect, well, then that would mean that Jacob wouldn't be here. We would have lost our heritage, or not heritage. We would have lost our blessing, Salakia. Esau will be ruling forever, okay? But that's not the case, all right? Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and this is what I'm getting to, all right? That's exactly what I'm getting to show that the Lord, that's why I read Isaiah 14, yet will the Lord still choose Israel. Despite everything this devil has done to hide, or everything that we've gone into through all the provocation of the Lord that we did, you know, people don't get that the reason why we are the way that we are right now is because the Lord was whooping our ass. The Lord's beating us. Every ounce of hell in this time, through whether it be demonization, further oppression, further affliction, you know, casting off pity. You know, I just watched this clip last night, man. You know, I was with the, you know, I was fellowshipping with a brother, you know, via mobile, you know. We were on a headset, I'll just say it like that. And I was watching the video while we were waiting for this screen to load, you know. And just a few days ago, man, a Judite man, a Judite Israelite, you know, got taken out of his 18-wheeler truck. He's on the ground with his hands up. He's already surrendered, man. Okay, and you got like 8 fucking cops on his ass. I don't know what he did, but he had already surrendered, man. For a good ass moment, he's there chilling like this, and behind him there's a state trooper or a canine unit, and the cop doesn't even have the canine at first. This cracker cop, remind you, but he turns around and gets the dog out the car, and he lets the dog go. And all the cops that are in front of the Jake, looking at the Jake, they're yelling, "Get the fucking dog! Get the dog off of him! Don't let the dog on him!" They're all screaming, "Get the dog off him! No!" And this cracker still let him go. Still let the canine go. There's hate from Esau still, man. The hate for Esau, or the hate from Esau to Jacob is still here. You read this precept that the brother posted. And by the way, Shalom, beloved. Shalom. All right, the brother Damawafia. And Yahweh Shemi Ashar Barakatah. I'm going to personally, you know, point you out, man. GMS in his likeness, that's his account. Genesis 27:41 says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Esau's been carrying this hatred from the very beginning. Okay, hey, Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning. That's predestination. All right, foreordainment, purpose. You know, like Agent Smith, purpose. It is purpose that defines us. Purpose that drives, you know, that thrives. We are all here because of purpose, Mr. Smith, or what did he say, Mr. Anderson? You know, it is all about purpose. Okay, little do you know, Esau was made to be a whooping stick to Jacob. All right, even what he's doing right now, yeah, like it says in Ezekiel 35, when their iniquity had an end, though Esau still pursued with blood. That don't mean that he ain't still being used to whoop Jacob. That's the excessive whooping. All right. Esau is accountable, but that's still foreordained by the Lord. All right, decided on beforehand to continue to happen. Because then you look at Jake today, man. I posted something with Travis. You know, some simple ass Jake that sold his house so he can get tickets for Travis Scott, and they ended up canceling the show. You know. What's this dude, Moneybag Yo? Personally, I like some of his lyrics. I like some of his beats. You know, I got some speakers, man. I like his beats. You know, that's it. I don't like none of the words. But Moneybag Yo did some simple shit the other day with his brother. I guess his brother died or whatever, and they put a blunt in his brother's, you know, in his brother's mouth, and it, you know, it was about smoking one last blunt with his brother. You know, that deserves. You deserve a cruel man to come upon you, man, to whoop you, man. Because that's sottish. That's sottish behavior. Jake has gotten exceedingly sottish now, man. The scriptures say for Jake, that they're sottish children that are wise to do evil, but they have no knowledge to do good. But when you look at Jake's behavior now, man, it's excelled past a folly. It's excelled far past detestable and abominable, because abominable means to be very filthy. So what's above very filthy? Atrocious, extremely filthy, exceedingly filthy. Jacob, man, is being very disgusting down these times. Damn. Salakia, I gotta stop this real quick. There's something going on around outside of the house real quick. Salakia, just bear with me. All right, Salakia. Yeah, I got a lot of turkeys and chickens out here, man. Something was going on over there. Salakia. All right, but back to what I was saying. All right. Hey, I'll go ahead and read this too. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. Well, that's the point. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, bugged out. Okay. And these little things, for some reason I'm thinking about this. You remember that Eve woman, that Judite bitch, man, that was at a party, man. She was thawing out and shit, but that she took what do you call it, like an anaconda or whatever, and she put it all in her mouth and she was sucking on it. Our people, man, they're gone. Our people are done. They've been destroyed, man. Everything, when you go back into the scriptures, like I like to always quote about with Isaiah, the 1st chapter, the 2nd chapter, it said how that faithful city become a desolation. It said that righteousness lodged within it. To see our people totally destroyed, because you look at the word destroyed, it means to destructuralize. Basically, every little tit for tat and nook and cranny and nitty gritty detail about them is taken out. What made them them? So when you look at a Jake, drinking beer out of a fish, learning the customs of the heathen, that's essentially destruction. But to see all that, and yet the Lord still is going to choose our people at the end of the day, then you understand why he has Esau still doing what he's doing, because Esau is going to need to do what he needs to do until the very end to justify us being delivered. Okay? Because if not, well, then all this nasty shit that Jacob is doing, it will have us not inherit our blessing. It's all about pre-election and preordainment. All right. Back into Romans 9. Hold on. Romans 9 and 8. It says that is they. Well, no, Salakia, I jumped down. Hold on. Romans 9 and 7. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. It says that is they which are the children of the flesh. All right. These are not the children of promise. All right. Because who was the before Isaac, or no, yeah, with Isaac, what sons did Abraham have? He had, who was the firstborn of Abraham? It was Ishmael. All right. Ishmael was supposed to get the inheritance, but we also find out Ishmael was through a concubine, right? But it didn't go to Ishmael, the children of the flesh. All right, it went to the children of the promise, which came from Isaac, which we know fell from Isaac down to Jacob. But it says these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. All right. It says, for this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. Because it was all, again, we already know, oh man, there's so much that I could talk about, man. Keeping that line pure, Sarah was, very close to Abraham. The line was very close. All right. It wasn't with, I can't even remember her name. Who was Sarah? Who did Ishmael? What was the name? I want to say it was, man, I can't even remember. Let me go ahead and get it real quick. Who was Ishmael's mother, man? Hold on. I know this is, I just want to make it, I don't want to get it wrong. Hold on. Hagar, Salakia. There you go. Yeah, Hagar, man. Which Hagar was actually, I believe she was a heathen. All right. But Sarah, again, like I said, she was very close. All right. She would have been of my bone and of my flesh, right? Okay. Let's see. It says, for this is the word of promise, at this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, because that was Rebekah, or Isaac's wife was Rebekah. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand. See, this is the purpose of the Lord. The Lord has a thing of election set up for his own goodwill and pleasure. To say like, well, look, it doesn't matter about election. Look how bad your people became. They don't deserve the blessing, man. They shouldn't get the kingdom after all that they've done. Well, you look at what our people are going through too, man. All right. You look at how far we fell off to the point we forgot who we were. Ain't no other nation around the planet ever forgotten who they were. The Japanese know exactly who they are, man. All right. The Russians know exactly who they are, man. Why do you think Russia's symbol is the bear? Why do you think Esau uses the eagle, man? Because he knows he's a fucking Edomite. He uses it to symbolize his an elevated status. Okay, but no other nation has ever dealt with the turmoil and the destruction like our people have. But to look at a people like that and like, there's no fucking possible way that they could be anything royal. There's no way that they could have been the children of promise. There's no, I don't believe it. And then for the Lord to clean them up at the very end, that is according to purpose. All right, that proves purpose. That proves a point that it's to the will of and pleasure of the Lord. All right. Because when you go into like Isaiah the 14th chapter, it'll say, who can stay the Lord's hand, or who shall say anything against the purpose of the Most High? When he says that something shall go, it's going to go, and unless he decides to change it, it stands. That's why it says that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand. Now, when you go back into that word purpose, it says, for the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. All right, the grounds, one's intentions or objective. It is aimed. All right. What did Jeremiah, 29:11 say? All right, hold on, let me get it. Actually, I don't want to get it on this one. Hold on. Let me get it right here. Oh man, it's already skipping in my mind. Oh yeah, this is Jeremiah 29:11. All right. It says, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. That is intention. Okay. That is an intention or an aim or a plan. See, the Lord had a plan from the very beginning. Look, man, I'm gonna make you a people, but then you're gonna go through some hell. You're gonna piss me off. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna piss you off, but that don't fucking matter, because really, I pissing y'all off because y'all are spoiled and bratty. You ain't getting your way, but you're gonna do a lot of shit for me to get pissed off, to where I'm gonna have to beat y'all. I'm gonna have to show y'all. I'm gonna have to teach y'all things, and that's essentially what's going on here, man. Even Apostle, I said this yesterday in the live, and I'm saying it today. Apostle Gabar likes to go into the topic about that we had to learn righteousness, or we had to learn wickedness in order to appreciate righteousness. Because you look at what we're going through right now, man. Yeah, and the fight of faith is even about believing in the promises. We've been so jacked up that to fully believe on the faith and promise that the Lord has given us, it gets hard sometimes. We still question things at times. Not to say we're out here, doubting it, or like as far as like, I'm not saying that, we're lacking like that. I'm just saying like we in this flesh, it gets difficult, man, because we feel like we're not going to make it to the end sometimes. That's what I'm talking about. All right. But to go back to purpose again, to intend, to plan, to aim at. Jeremiah 20:11, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace, all right, to give you an expected end. Regardless of everything that is going to transpire on this earth, the Lord was going to choose Jacob, all right? Going back to Romans 9 again in verse 11, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. But it tells you, man, like it just said, but Esau have I hated. All right, now this is another precept. 2nd Esdras chapter 3 in verse 13. It says, now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them whose name was Abraham, which is a father of nations, right? Him thou lovest, and unto him only thou shewest thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest not forsake his seed. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau. And I always go into this, man. The word put by means literally to reject, to pass on by. And I read to y'all in this book, again, if y'all ever want to check it out, this book is fucking hella informative right here. Who's who in the Bible. And it's specific. I like this specific book. And I looked for this picture. You can find this picture as the, right there. This book is big as hell, man. Salakia. But this is the picture for this book. When you go into Esau, it'll tell you, man, that he was not chosen. All right? They'll break it down from what Paul spoke in Hebrews, the 10th chapter or the 12th chapter. All right? But he's not chosen. And he was never meant to be chosen. He was meant to rule for a little. But the scriptures tell you, man, that he was never going to learn righteousness to really... to really actually prolong his times. All right, the Lord said that he had determined the times and months, so there's going to be an end and a cap to his time. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau is the end of the world, okay? And it was predestinated for it to happen like that. So regardless of what people may say or think, no matter what, the Lord's intentions is to have Jacob rule the heavens and earth forever. It tells you in 2nd Esdras, I think also the 6th chapter, or is it the 7th chapter, that these heathen that have been reputed ever as nothing, and that we were made to rule the heaven or the earth. But oh man, there's one more I wanted to get. Damn, I can't even think about it right now. It escaped my mind. But Lord willing, you get the point. At the end. Oh yeah, Amos, the 3rd chapter. All right, hold on. This is Amos 3:1. It says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. So the Lord is only known our people. That's it. He's only spoken to our people. All right. That's why he said that he only shewed his will to Abraham. Okay. He didn't shew it to the rest of the world. Again, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. So all this chaos and disorder and disruption and destruction that's going around the earth with these other nations pursuant to Jacob, it's because of us. All right. Psalms, one more, then I'm done. Psalms, which you should know what I'm going to. Psalms 147 and 19, it says, He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So the world doesn't know the expectation of the Lord. That's what it means too, that not knowing the judgment. The judgment is to give us the kingdom in the end. All right, no matter what happens. So that is according to pre-election. You cannot lose your blessing. You cannot lose anything. All right. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. All right, peace and much love, honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakathon, Kwame Sha'ala, Shalom.